right, this is the Opie and Anthony show, except no Opie, no Anthony. It's me, Joe Rogan, Rich Voss, and Ari Shaffir, a.k.a. the Amazing Racists. And we also have Octane here with us, and we're going to try to play... Octane played on the walk over. We're going to try to play this Enemy song. That's the first track. Play that shit.
You know what sucks?
Non-acoustic.
When you get a band that good, how hard it is. Like a comics can get on anywhere almost. At this point in life. If you got 4 friends, you can get on anywhere.
Right.
You know, and then they're delusional because they bring their friends, then their friends laugh, and, you know, they're too uncomfortable to say you're funny, you're great, and that, you know, perpetuates that they'll go on stage again and keep coming, and they're horrible. Then you get a band as good as this that, you know, they can't get signed. It's just...
well, not only that, bands are way hard because you can go on stage, you can get in a fight with Bonnie, you can do whatever, you can just go on stage. But they have to fucking get along with each other, they hang out with each other, they have to rehearse. You don't rehearse, you write your fucking jokes. You write your shit, you come up with a funny idea, you write it on a napkin, you try it out at an open mic night, you know what I mean? They have to fucking work.
And you can't just go on tonight when you feel like it.
Right.
You got to plan it way in advance.
You can't have an idea for a song. I'll have an idea for a joke, just show up at the Comedy Store and just ramble, you know, and just start talking about something, and the ideas will come out of it. But, you know, that's a lot of fucking work.
Well, and also, too, as a comic, like, when either a comedy club is going to do comedy, like a place where a band plays, they say, well, you know, we're not getting a band, we're going to get a DJ, we're going to get karaoke, we're going to fill it in with, you know, so it's hard for them to find a venue, too.
And even if they do get a venue, people don't want them to play their own shit. They want them to play, you know,
covers.
do you do, you know, they wanted to play, like, even coming over here, Opie wanted them to play covers, and they played their own shit, and I'm glad they did. This is a song, let's play this Enemy song. This is a song that they played first. This fucking song rocks, man. This really got me.
Gotta take what I wanna waste, not another dime. No time to waste. I got a lot of anger inside. I'll waste, not another dime. No time to waste. My enemies are the closest friends I keep. Jesus warned me twice today. Each time I pray, make love not end. My enemies are the closest friends I keep. Jesus warned me twice today. Each time I pray, make love not end. I got a reason for being nice. Open seeing time, no time to waste. Break down inside you, take down your whole world left on a tattered beat of a shattered time. It's time to change. My enemies are the closest friends I keep. Jesus warned me twice today. Each time I pray, make love not end. My enemies are the closest friends I keep. Jesus warned me twice today. Each time I pray, make love not end.
That fucking song is badass.
Yeah.
You know,
God damn, that song makes me want to run on a treadmill. I just want to start punching a heavy bag.
And not comparing to the band that was in earlier, but that's just as good as, you know, they should be just
compare them. It's better.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Jets, the one song is really good.
Yeah.
Are You Gonna Be My Girl? I love that song. That's a badass song. Those other two songs, like, you know, they're okay. It's not my style, but this fucking song is awesome. How these guys aren't huge is crazy.
Rock and roll.
They're not even signed. That's fucking insane. If anybody out there is a record executive and you're listening to this and you don't jump on this shit immediately, you're retarded.
You know what it is? They need somebody else to go. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
they can sit and listen to it. They need somebody else to come in a room or some other record company to want them.
Exactly. That's how it works. That's how it works in Hollywood. That's how it works in any entertainment business. Someone else has to step up and take the chance first.
Or if someone wants to. It's like a relationship. You don't want to fuck her until somebody else is fucking her or wants to fuck her.
Well, the other opposite. They don't want to fuck you until you're fucking somebody else. If you're desperate, nobody wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
That's why when you're in a bad streak, right? Come on. When you reek of desperate... So, what's going on, ladies? They just smell you and run away.
They can see you holding the hammer behind your back.
Exactly.
Smash into the car with.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than desperation.
And this guy looks, you know what? The guy, especially with the glasses, the lead, is so fucking marketable.
Let's get these guys in here.
Let's
get them in here. Let's talk to them.
They're,
Can we get him on that mic, on Anthony's mic over there?
Sure.
It's such a fucking weird business, man. And I hope, you know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping that the internet is going to change all this shit. The internet and all these, the access that people have to music now and comedy. It's already done with comedy. I mean, look what it did to Dane Cook. Yeah. And that's all the internet. That's huge. That fucking song's even better. Even better listening to the CD version of it, man. I love it even more now.
Thank you guys very, very much.
How long have you guys been playing? Like
almost 7 years we've been
together. You know what it is? It's longevity. You just got to stick it out because you know when you're that good, you have to hit.
Yeah, for sure, you guys are gonna hit. It's just a matter of time. It's totally time.
Where are you guys from?
That's a fucking jam, dude. That's a serious jam.
Maybe you need a scandal or something.
Yeah,
I think we just walked into one. I think
maybe something to get you on the news. That band.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I just got to think anybody who's listening to that on the radio. This is finally now. Like, I mean, how many people are on the XM? How many people are listening? That shit's gonna get on the internet now. People are gonna record that song. Million. I guarantee you that song is gonna go viral. That fucking song's badass, dude.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's just
thank you.
It's fucking good. You would think you're going, I know them.
Right.
You hear the song, you're going, I know them.
Yeah, I mean, how many CDs you bought?
Is it on the internet somewhere? People can download it.
One good song and like 20 shit ones.
Was there like a demo version or a shorter version on our website you can download from there? It's also on our MySpace.
Your MySpace?
Yeah, so you can get it off there.
Octane Rock,
and Napster,
right?
and you can get it. We know it's all on that stuff. I actually got the record from iTunes, so I didn't even have a copy, and I played on it. I just downloaded it off iTunes.
They didn't give you a copy of your own record?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
When you guys are playing, like if you're just jamming, like I don't know, like comics, like we were talking about before, it can be on stage and just working or ad-libbing the crowd, whatever. You'll come up with bits. Do you come up with stuff on stage from just jamming with each other? Or
Absolutely. Like when we first start new original songs, we'll work them over to a degree in the rehearsal room. We'll go through them, then we take them out live for at least 3 or 4 months before we'd ever record them, because that's where they become what they're going to become on the record. You get the feel, you get change little things up. It'd be cool if you take out this bridge part, put this in here. They become what they become by performing them live for people and jamming them with each other.
Do you ad-lib when you guys are on stage? Do you just fuck around and change things? And you know each other so well, you look at each other. I mean, how does that work? How does the communication work?
You guys want to take this?
Just kind of know how each other plays. I mean, I can hear a Phil comment or something like that. Just look over at Bob, and he's got a big grin on his face, and you kind of know where that stuff's going to come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have you guys ever got like really high after show and you two raped that one guy right there, the cute one? Just said, hey, you know what? You want to play with us still? Drop him.
Bortnick sometimes.
Why don't you tell everybody your names? What are your names?
My name is Brian Bortnick, man, from Northeast Philly.
And you are the lead singer?
I am.
And
Bob Perillis, drums and backup vocals.
Cool.
Jordan Demarest, guitar.
And it's Octane Rocks. OctaneRocks.com.
We also have two other guys who aren't here.
Fuck those guys. They're not here,
they're sleeping today. They're sleeping.
They snoozed, huh?
Yes, they did.
They're out of the band.
You snooze, you lose, man.
Fucking Peter Best.
The label's going to replace him right now. The label's already working on the replacements before they even give the deal.
So you guys
giving you Ashley Simpson.
Did you guys put that CD out yourselves?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you playing anywhere coming up?
Yeah, we were actually supposed to be in town tonight, and it got canceled. It was a cigarette promotion that canceled the gig.
What the fuck?
So, yeah, it was a bummer. But we're gonna
maybe we can get you another gig. Somebody could call up. Anybody's got a bar, they need a band tonight. OctaneRocks.com. Email these motherfuckers. They're in town. You guys got a laptop while you're in town at your hotel?
Got a
Can you take emails? Oh, you got okay. What's the email address?
You can get it right through Octane Rocks at OctaneRocks.com.
Octane Rocks at OctaneRocks.com?
Yes.
Well, that's the email address. If you got a bar and you want Octane, they're free tonight.
We
have them tonight.
Obviously we did those shows in Philly, and I love Philly. I was just working Philly. Do you find them a tough crowd or just a cool rock? I love Philly. It's just like
hate it.
You hated Philly?
Yeah.
We had a great fucking time. We did the Maxim tour in Philly.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
The club there, the tours we did there. I went to see Stanhope there one night. We were off one night, and he was working just a rock and roll club. And we went there, and you just have so much fun in fucking Philly. I don't know why it gets this rap, because they just know how to party.
Well, if you take yourself seriously, they'll come after you. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
We've done shows with Nationals there, and it's like, they come in and obviously we're fortunate it's our hometown, so you have the hometown crowd, but if people come in there and they take themselves too seriously, they will eat you alive, man.
The Burr thing was about Dom Irrera and Jimmy Schubert. Jimmy Schubert bombed and Dom Irrera bombed, and they were booing them. And then Bill got on stage and went, fuck you guys, you're booing them, fuck. And they were actually laughing at Bill while he was shitting on them.
Schubert, like I hosted the shows, I hosted the first half, and Schubert went on first. And Schubert is such a pro, because he's been doing it so long, and Schubert's a fucking funny guy. He just kept barreling through his fucking set. Just, it was just like... It was
not acknowledging it?
That's not a pro.
You can't do that.
Huh?
Yeah, you can't just not acknowledge that you're eating it.
Well...
Or that they're booing.
I think he might have been in shock, too. He might have been in shock. When you got 12,000 people...
Yelling at you.
Yelling at you. But
hey, you blonde faggot.
And his family was there. He brought his parents and his family.
That's so nice for them.
He was
That's
scared.
nice. So they brought him home.
They smelled blood.
They brought him home, so we told you this comedy thing isn't right for you.
Schubert. He had his fucking family there when he bombed like that?
Well, at that time, they were his family, not anymore.
Forced him.
But I love Philly. What a great... I did my CD in Philly a couple of weeks ago. I'm editing it now. It's just great crowds.
Where'd you record that?
At Helium, at the club down there.
Cool.
So some guy who does rock bands, he did the recording and stuff. I don't even remember his name, but I know he was fucking good.
But he did a great job, you're sure?
Well, I'm listening to it at home, so he captured it. It's just Philly. It's a great... good comics come from... great comics come from New York, certainly some Boston. There's great comics.
Hostile areas.
Good comics.
Yeah.
Because you gotta bring it. You gotta be good.
Right. You gotta respect their attention span and not be fake.
Yeah. Good entertainers come out of fucking Philly, man. You can name just one right after the other. God, do I know how to do a radio show. I don't know how I don't have my own fucking
I gotta tell you guys, man, when we were coming here, we just had Jet in the studio on the CBS show, and we were walking. They said, we're gonna have this band Octane. I'm like, all right, whatever. We're gonna see a band play. Dude, you guys blew me away. And I'm excited, and I got your CD now. That shit's gonna be on my iPod. I'm gonna listen to it all the time. And thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you very, very, very much.
Octane, OctaneRocks.com. And myspace.com/OctaneRocks. Check it out. Make them your top friends, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, listen to it. Grab it. Tell your club owner.
Take a leak, and then we'll come back and we'll answer some questions.
And also on their CD is like 15 minutes of Dane Cook.
Oh,
that's very nice.
Well, it's not really. It's 15 minutes of Louis C.K., but Dane Cook's doing it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with a Joe Rogan show.
Holla.
It's a very special show.
It's about being able to do the show we want to do.
Prison, sex.
Give it to me. We know what guys want to hear on the radio.
Adult-oriented subject matter.
Look at those jugs.
They won't exercise restraint.
This is going to be an awful show.
Hold on tight, kids.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Sans Opie, sans Anthony. No Jim Norton, Rich Voss, Ari Shaffir, and I'm Joe Rogan. What the fuck's going down? We're doing radio, dude.
Yeah, we just took over the show. They're going to film commercials.
I like it. Yeah. We're better than John and Jeff already.
Whoever they are, I'm sure we are.
Who are John and Joe?
Fucking guys in L.A. on at like 2 o'clock in the morning that make me cringe.
Yeah.
Holla.
What's the worst when you go on the road and you go into the radio station? Well, the worst is when they get you up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and you go do one break, and then they go, can you prepare, can you give us some notes what we should ask you? No.
I hate that so much. Like, no, I'm not that kind of a douchebag. Please.
Yeah. Well, what's even worse with me is they always want me to eat things.
Really?
We prepared something for you.
You know what?
Like an easy bake oven with, animal dicks in it.
How about I eat your Adam's apple, you jackass? How about, all right, and don't try to be funnier than me, all right? Just ad-lib and move on.
Not only that, they always go to Wikipedia and just you can tell, like, the questions are straight out of Wikipedia. Like, what I heard.
Where was it? Where the guy started asking about Phil Hartman, like, right off the bat?
Oh, I've had that happen, yeah, man.
It's like right off the bat, good morning, hey, how do you feel about Phil Hartman being dead? And you're like, what?
So, tell me this. Does it make you feel bad? No, me and a friend gets shot in the head. It's like, what the fuck? No big deal.
Out of the blue. It was like right at the start.
Yeah, but a good friend of yours, his wife shoots him in the head while he's asleep. What the fuck? You move on.
Yeah. I'm not Freddie Prince's roommate.
I didn't have to clean up the blood. It's just, what the fuck do you even say to something like that? It's just, most people, the real problem with most people that are doing radio, and you know this as well as I do, they really want to be comics.
Yeah.
A huge percentage of them, DJs wanted to be comics, and it didn't work out, and, they don't really like comics that much. They don't like the fact that you're too confident. They don't like the fact that
threatened.
It's fucking really easy to be a radio DJ in, like, wherever, St. Petersburg, Florida. Pick a city, and you're the morning guy, and you just got to be fairly likable, and you get on. And they get some guy who's a comic who's in town, and they go, well, this guy could just have my job if he called up and said, I want to be your radio guy.
Yeah.
Would it be easy for him?
I could do that in places.
Boss like,
some fucking numbers.
Where can I get a job?
Got a gig.
I am tired of going on the road.
Where's my best place? Are you tired of the road?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm tired of fighting with club owners. I'm tired of numbers. I'm tired of,
what do you mean numbers?
Dealing, you did...
How many people were there?
You didn't hit bonus. You missed it by 6 seats. Oh, really? Well, I would have bought those fucking 6 tickets, okay? Yeah. All right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that? All right? I missed it by 6. Go fuck yourself. It's just dealing with these fucking people. Here's the deal, and you're at this level, all right? You just want to do 2 shows if you want in theaters, or 2 shows a weekend, or you want to be at the point where you go, all right, I'll do Friday, Saturday. This is the money. No, fuck it. The next club will. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to negotiate and fuck around with them.
Do you have a manager and agent that handles all that shit?
Yeah, I just got a new booking agent. I got a new agent. If my it's you know what it is? It's like after last comic, I had a lot of heat, and and talking about radio guys. That's all I heard. They're Chinese guys and funny. Who gives a fuck about who won the dumb show? All right, the show was about. It was a sitcom without a script. I don't give a fuck if I win a contest. I was funny on the show, you jackass. Don't you get it? Ooh, I gotta win. I don't give a fuck. That's why season 4 they were so desperate. I gotta win. You don't. You gotta be fucking good on the show and funny and show who you are, you jackasses.
Well, anytime you have a contest with art, that doesn't.
Yeah, it totally negates it because it's a subjective form.
Completely. Yeah. Like here's a perfect example. Octane. Yeah. Between Jet and Octane, Jet sells millions of fucking CDs. Yeah. Those guys are huge and they're really good. I mean, that song, that "Are You Gonna Be My Girl" is badass. These motherfuckers just played that song. That song blew me away. Nobody knows who they are. If they had a contest with Jet, who would win? How do you do that? It's impossible.
Fucking Jet is traveling to their next gig on a limo. These guys got to rush to Penn Central to get their train back to Philly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They had a gig tonight in New York and it got canceled. So they don't have shit.
And you definitely can't compare comedy. The only way to compare comedy is going, well, he's done it for 2 years. He's done it for 15. Right. He's where he should be at 2 years. He's where he should be.
And even then, it's like what you like. Like when people say, "What do you think about this comic?" I'll say, "This is what I think about any comic." If they're not stealing material, either I laugh at them or I don't laugh at them. And if I don't laugh at them, it doesn't mean they suck. It just means it's not my shit. There's people love country music.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing for me to say that country music sucks because it doesn't suck for them. They hear some country music, they fucking love it, man. They get excited. They turn that shit up. That's what's good for them. They enjoy it. It's art. That's what they like. You can't judge art. You either like it or you don't like it.
And plus, everyone knew the retard was going to win 2 weeks into the thing.
Yeah,
Last Comic Stand.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the last one.
Yeah, he was. But here's the thing too about the clubs on the road. I know he had multiple sclerosis. We were watching him, or whatever, cerebral palsy, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, whatever.
It makes you shake. Whatever makes you shake, right?
Not retarded, or
we're watching him, and Bonnie goes, he doesn't even look nervous. How the fuck can you tell? He's shaking the whole set. But it's the comedy on the road is what you like. What I like is when you go to a club and it's one guy, he owns the club, and they care about if you're funny. They'll watch your show. They'll say good set. You know what I mean? It's not. They care about their club and their comedy. You know what I mean?
You done riddles in Chicago yet?
Well, yeah, I've done riddles a lot of times. A couple times.
Since the new guy took it over to
Brand, yeah.
All he cares about is if it's funny or not.
Yeah.
It's like my crowd will come, but I just want him to make sure it's a funny show.
I'll tell you what's funny about their crowd. And they're a good crowd. We fucking it's packed there. But you got people come into that crowd that look like, a couple that should be in a picture with a pitchfork, to a guy that's walking out with tears under his eyes because he killed 12 fucking people, right?
Southern Chicago, such a mixture
such a diverse audience.
Farmland,
you got to go. Well, I got to make this quilting festival laugh, and I got to make this fucking Latin king that just did a nickel for fucking
Latin king. Yeah. Patrice was on stage once. Charlie Murphy was telling me the story, and someone was in the audience, some dude, and Patrice was tearing him apart, and the guy said, "Yeah, well, I'm king, whatever, with the Latin kings, I'm king, Muhammad, whatever. Yeah. And, we'll see you outside in the, parking lot, motherfucker." And he's like, "Oh, shit. You got to deal with that." Gang members that are heckling. You know what the Latin kings are? You don't know.
No.
West Coast boy.
Yeah.
Why would you keep calling? I grew up in Maryland. I've been in L.A.
Well,
you grew up on
you grew up on the west side of Maryland, okay?
I guess so.
You know how bad Baltimore sucks? The Orioles are so bad. When I was in Baltimore, I saw 2 pigeons holding down an Oriole as a crow raped it. But anyhow, here's the thing about
I should have said how bad are they. That's the only thing.
When you get I was doing a show at Caroline's once. It was an all-black audience, right? I used to do a lot of the all-black shows when I did. And there was a couple up front. I mean, there was 2 ladies up front, and this black lady had blonde hair. And I go, "I loved you in Demolition Man, that's all." Well, her girlfriend, they were lesbians, I didn't realize, got up and threw a drink at me. The whole drink.
That was for that?
Well, I also called her small tits, whatever. But it
there was
small tits?
I don't know what the fuck. Whatever she said,
then
I know, I didn't call her cunt, but that doesn't work.
Whatever you said, she should have accepted.
Yeah, it was a joke. The audience was laughing. She got up, she threw a drink at me. The whole place went silent, right? Oh, shit. As they're walking her out, I go, "Don't think you're not paying for that drink either, bitch," right? The crowd went, "Ooh." I went, "Good night, thank you." Right? Because you got to end on a big laugh with a black audience.
What is it about black audiences that are so fucking hostile? And so, if you kill, though, you kill.
Yeah,
when you kill,
they're very
they
vocal.
will fall out of their fucking tables. They'll be slapping their hands on the ground.
High five, they run, they jump.
But if it goes bad, there's no recovery, dude.
Well, here's the deal, too. A black audience know if you're real. Even if you're white or black, they could feel you know what I mean?
Are you trying to say they're more animalistic? Is that what you're
no, not at all. What I'm trying to say, they can have a good time because they don't have to get up early for work, so they can stay out late. I was doing a black crowd at a club in New York. And there's a good set going, and I said, "How am I going to sabotage this?" And I started trashing Sharpton in front of a black audience. I don't know why. I just started trashing them and some big black lady, she had to be 500 pounds, started booing me. The audience was booing, and I go, "Bitch, as fat as you are, you should be mooing," right? And the crowd went, "Ah!" I went, "Good night, thank you." But they are the best audiences if they like you.
Yeah,
you can be real with them.
Either way,
I used to do a lot
silence.
I used to do a lot of black clubs in Boston because when I first started out in Boston, I couldn't get any gigs in the city. All my gigs were like in bars and stuff outside of Boston. Anything that you get paid for, like in town, like the main clubs, like where like Nick's Comedy Stop and like the Comedy Connection, I couldn't get any of that because I was dirty. So I used to work all these outside rooms, and I used to work a couple black clubs in Medford, Dorchester, and dude, when you killed, you fucking killed. You killed. They would die laughing. It was like the biggest laughs ever. But when you bomb, man, it was death.
They like. I was doing a club called Terminal D. It was like the first black club in New Jersey. I mean, it was. And I was hosting a show, and this black comic went on, and he was bombing so bad. They were booing him, giving him the bell and everything, right? Okay. So before he ends his show, he goes, you know what? I worked a white club last night, and they were so much better to me than my own people. Fuck you, and walked off. And I went back on because I'm the host. I'm going, you know, I'm not going to lie. I was at the white club, and they didn't like him there either. And that's the shit black people love. They just went nuts.
It's like anything else. You get to feel their vibe. You get used to it. You know? I know a lot of guys, like Dice has gone up on Fat Tuesdays in the Comedy Store.
I started in black rooms, too, like a little bit in L.A., because the white rooms wouldn't have me.
Yeah.
Just because... You know,
you're a Jew.
Well, I wasn't any good, so the black was the first ones that were like put me on like real shows.
You know what's good when you're doing a mixed that's good when you're doing a regular club and there's a mixed audience, because if you're doing racial edgy stuff, the black people will laugh and then white people will go, well, they're laughing, we can laugh.
Yeah, it's that moment of like the look over and say, okay, they're cool.
So I can laugh now. You know, because if it's all white, they're like, oh, you know, I can't, you know, they think they're going to lose their fucking job, or they're just a white guilt.
I wonder what the Kramer thing is going to do for comedy. I wonder if that's going to change shit.
It might fuck things up with Jamie Masada saying he's going to ban...
That's gonna change. And how many times do people say nigger? I mean, how often does that get said
Mooney
on stage?
said he won't say it anymore. He's used it easily over 1 million times.
Well, Mooney's just getting a little bit more publicity. He's saying it.
I would say it on stage.
Homie, please. Yeah. I'm saying it.
I would say it more on stage if I had windows to roll up and a car door to lock. You know,
bring one on with you. Bring a window.
You know what I'm worried about is those two fucking douchebags that were heckling. Those guys. Bottom line, everyone who heckles is a fucking douchebag. There's no cool, enlightened, really nice, friendly hecklers. Those guys are assholes. Any guy screaming shit out, those guys are pieces of shit. They're interrupting a show. That said, those guys are suing. And they're suing the Laugh Factory.
What are they suing for?
They got Gloria Allred.
She's a cunt.
A cunt?
She's the worst.
She is.
She just looks for publicity.
For sure.
She won't let them do interviews unless she gets an interview, too.
What if they started a show, and here's the idea for the show. What if they started a show called Heckled, just like Punked, and they set up hidden cameras in a comedy club, and they have these two douchebags, and they sit in the audience, and they put a little something in their ear, and they have comics feed them lines, and they try to fuck up comics. They get like some road guy that's got like, you know, one Live at Gotham credit or something like that, and he's, you know, headlining in Bettendorf, Iowa on a Thursday, and they just fuck this guy's world up.
That'd be fun to watch. That'd be fun to watch.
Right? Well, could you imagine if they did you? Imagine if you were in the fucking audience with like a fake mustache on an outfit so they couldn't recognize you, and you just got to ruin.
It'd be great.
I mean, come on.
And you would know, you guys would know too when to not talk back. Like, oh, where are you from? Silent.
Well, I mean, that would be dependent on them talking back to you. But just to be able to yell shit out, I mean, to fuck up. I mean, how many times have you seen a bad comic on stage just felt like I could just ruin this guy if I wanted to?
Oh, yeah. Me and Patrice go back and forth. If he's in the audience and I'm on stage, we'll start going.
Yeah, people do that at the store all the time. Or me and Don Barris, you know. Yeah. We'll do that all the time. Brian Holtzman, well, he's Heckle Holtzman, you know.
Or me and Bonnie will do that, you know. We have
the bedroom.
I said to her the other night, I go, keep it up, I'm not going to clean your back off. She goes, that little bit will evaporate. Fucking Brian Holtzman, if you've never seen, you have to see this guy.
He's hilarious.
I just sit and watch him in amazement on how out of his mind and funny he is.
He's fucking crazy. Brian Holtzman is a guy who's a regular at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Very rarely does he go anywhere else. He actually works full-time. He used to work for U.S. Air. I don't know if he's still working for them. Does he? Who does he work for now? Does he have a full-time job or did he get fired?
I'm pretty sure he's a meter maid.
A meter maid? Whoa. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's one of the funniest comics in L.A. He's got a joke on Susan Smith. Remember Susan Smith, that chick who drowned her kids? He goes, ladies and gentlemen, I heard those were bad kids. I heard they sat right in front of the TV. They didn't put their fucking blocks away. They were always spilling their milk. They will not be missed.
I heard Stanhope had him open at the Improv for him out there.
Yeah.
He was out of his element, so he wasn't on his game.
Don't like the Improv.
He's got to be in a dark room. So the best thing about the Comedy Store is the spotlight hits you. You don't see shit in the audience. You don't see anybody's
one row
face.
back. That's it.
And he can just be himself there and play with the microphone and play with his clothes and just go off into his weird little Holtzman world.
He is fucking funny.
Yeah, he's very funny.
We were talking about earlier before. Certain comics, you'll walk in the room, I got to watch this fucking guy. It's, you know, because you never know what's going to come out.
He's the saddest one to me because that guy should be huge. I mean, I've known Brian for 8, 9, 10 years now. I mean, I've known him ever since I was at the Comedy Store. I mean, maybe a year after I was at the Comedy Store, he started going there, and he's always been fucking
He's always
hilarious.
people's favorite.
Yeah, comics' favorite.
Yeah.
He's a real comics comic.
Because you don't know, like, if he's going to go over.
I've seen him rush the crowd.
Well, he got knocked out by Martin Lawrence's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence's bodyguard was in the audience, and Martin Lawrence was heckling Brian Holtzman. And Brian Holtzman started screaming, "I'm a performer! I'm a performer! You're a performer! You're fucking heckling me, you motherfucker!" And he got off stage and went towards Martin Lawrence, and Martin Lawrence's bodyguard knocked him out. Just stepped up, blam! Knocked him out in the face, show over. Holtzman goes, heels over shoulders, falls back into some tables, and that was the end of the fucking show.
That's so funny, you ever see some black comics, they have an entourage of, like, 3 bodyguards, this and that. Like, I know, Seinfeld walks around by himself.
Right.
Chris walks around by himself.
Yeah.
You know, but then you get these guys that did 2 TV shows, like you said, and all of a sudden they got, guys with walkie-talkies.
Well, I think they need, if they're going to black clubs, they probably need it, man. I mean, there's a lot of haters out there. Would you like to be Chris Tucker walking into a black club by yourself? Fuck that.
You got a point there.
Fuck that. You're not walking into some nice restaurant by yourself. You're walking into a club. You're going into VIP. I mean, you've heard stories about, like, P. Diddy. And notice I called him P. Diddy, not Puff Daddy. He's not Puff Daddy anymore. He's P. Diddy.
They changed the name now.
He threw, some dude threw money in his face, and people got shot, and shit happens, man.
Oh, that was that Law and Order episode, I bet. That's what that was based on.
Yeah, it was based on that. They always do that. They rip shit over the headlines all the time.
Yeah.
But he went to some club, and I think he was with Jennifer Lopez at the time. And some guy got in his face, and I got more money than you, nigga. And he threw like a wad of hundreds in his face, and the guy he was with shot somebody, and it got fucking crazy.
I would have been on the ground picking up those bills.
You know what, man? You can't always floss. You can't always just go. You got to know where to go and where not to go.
That's true. That's right. P. Diddy heckled me. He had a club called...
Really?
He had a club called Justin's. It was a one-night or a black show in New York. So I was doing a spot there on the show. And it was going well in the beginning. And then all of a sudden I just started losing them. I lost and I started bombing, right? And then I heard in the back the siren, from the Apollo, like, get off.
Right.
And I don't know who said it. And I'm on stage going, you know what, fuck you, giving me this. I go, do you know what I've accomplished in life? I'm a good dad. I got 2 daughters. I got 15 years sober at the time, whatever. I go, I've been on this show, that show, whatever. I go, what the fuck have you accomplished? And the place went silent. And I get off stage and go, that was Puff Daddy giving you the siren. What have you accomplished?
Oh,
well,
shit.
let's say the building you're in. Let's start with that one, you dumb little cracker Jew.
Oh, a little thing called Notorious B.I.G.
You guys want to take some phone calls?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
man.
we got Eli in Minnesota's got a question for Voss. Eli, go ahead, man.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Fucking Voss, I saw you at Acme in Minneapolis. You fucking rocked.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a good time there.
Is Minneapolis good?
Yeah.
I was there that night when you went off on that girl who was half Indian and half black.
Oh, God, I think I got that on tape somewhere. I do have that on tape.
Oh, my God. I was with that guy. That's my buddy and his wife. And, oh, my God. At first, I didn't know, because she can be really great about racist humor, and then other times she'll be just a total cunt about it, but she loved it.
Oh, I said to her...
Sweet.
I remember saying this to her. She was half Indian, half black. I didn't mean it. I go, what tribe are you? I go to her, what tribe are you from? Right? And I meant on the Indian side, right? Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. That's a good club.
That was me and my buddy. I think other than you, were like the only people that got that right away, because me and my buddy both started laughing like as soon as you said that. And you sat there and you're like, oh fuck, that was pretty good. And like the rest of the audience, even my wife, they're like, huh?
Yeah, I was going to make a new CD from that week, but I just didn't feel that. Minneapolis, you've been there, right?
No, I haven't been. I'm going, though.
Cool city, man.
Yeah, I've heard.
The downtown, they have a statue downtown of Mary Tyler Moore, right downtown by the Macy's. What? So late at night, I drove and jerked off on it because I always wanted to fuck her, right? And that's the closest I could get to was jerk off on the statue.
They have a statue of Mary Tyler Moore?
I have 2 problems with that.
What's the first
one?
What's the second one? Fuck the first one.
The second one is you always had a thing for Mary Tyler Moore?
She was hot, dude. Back in the day.
When?
Dude, back in the day, pre-Lou Grant show.
Even with when she was Lori Petty on the fucking show with Dick Van Dyke.
Dude, she was hot.
She was
super hot. On Dick Van Dyke, she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
You guys were idiots.
And what's this?
We're idiots.
You were 12 years old.
Whoa. Don't you like Tank Girl, you fucking homo?
That's different because she's hot.
Oh, okay.
All right, what's the second problem?
What's the first one?
Jerking off on a statue.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What's the big
You ever jerk off on a magazine?
Yeah.
Same shit.
Well, there's not people around.
Let's take that guy in Vegas.
All right, Terrell in Vegas. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Man?
Nothing much. I wanted to ask you what was going on, how you felt about the government trying to ban salvia d'amore.
Are they trying to ban it?
I know they're trying to ban it here in Vegas. It's all over the news. Like, they're trying to say it has dangerous properties and that kids are using it as a second way to get high. They're comparing it to marijuana a lot.
Yeah,
obviously they're two completely different substances.
Well, it's a pretty serious psychedelic. It's kind of weird that it's legal. There was another drug that was legal that's even more powerful. It's still legal technically, which is called 5-methoxydimethyltryptamine, 5-MeO-DMT, which you used to be able to get online and just order it. And it's about 1 million times more powerful than mushrooms, which is illegal rather. And this salvia divinorum is, I know they tried a long time ago, like a couple years ago, to make it illegal, and it didn't get passed. You could still buy it at head shops, and it's kind of crazy.
Online and stuff.
Yeah, it's way more powerful than marijuana. Way more powerful than, it's an out-of-body experience. When you smoke it, you have these really intense psychedelic experiences.
Where do you get it from? What is it?
It's salvia divinorum. It's a plant, and you smoke it through a bong, and it's a psychedelic plant.
Is it new?
Was that
No,
CSI?
it's been around for thousands of years.
It was a CSI episode with that shit. Where they were doing it out in the desert.
Were they?
Yeah, and
that might have been mescaline. It might have been peyote.
No, they smoked it. They had to smoke it.
Oh, okay, then it might have been salvia. Yeah, it's well, you know what, man? There's no reason to make any of these things illegal. The problem is when people find out that that's legal, they go, well, how come that one's legal and marijuana's not? And then it makes things tricky. So they have to try to make things illegal so that they don't have to make marijuana legal. They're in a real bad situation where, basically they're still running around saying that Santa Claus is real. That's what by making marijuana illegal, they're saying Santa Claus is real. They're saying something ridiculous.
But your point about making marijuana legal, and you had some good points before when they were, we were talking. But where do you draw the line? Do you make cocaine illegal? Do you make heroin legal?
I think everything should be legal. This is what I think. I think if you're fucking dumb enough to do heroin, you should be able to do heroin. I believe in the laws of, I believe in social Darwinism. And I think we should have real education, and people should really know what's legal and what's not legal. And I think if you're going to have drugs like Valium and alcohol and all these other different prescriptions that are available, you should also have heroin. You should also have cocaine and tax them through the fucking roof. Tax them heavily and use that money for treatment centers and let people know what's good for you and what's bad for you.
But when you say if you're dumb enough to get it, okay, there's alcoholics that are brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they didn't set out to become alcoholics. They drank alcohol. It was legal. It was social.
So you think alcohol should be illegal?
No. But I'm saying, you can't say only dumb people if you get addicted. Dumb people.
Well, alcoholism is a little bit different because I think people. Well, even heroin. Heroin. Apparently, if you smoke heroin once or shoot it once, you're probably gone, right? Most people.
I don't. It takes a couple times. Yeah,
does it?
Well, crack and heroin.
Crystal meth, all these different things. But we should know that. There should be the lies that they tell about marijuana don't serve them in the truths that they tell about crystal meth or the truth they tell about real problem drugs. And if you think that people should have free reign to drink alcohol whenever they want, which I do, if you think people have free reign to swallow 1,000, if you want to fucking swallow 1,000 sleeping pills and die, you should be able to. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. But we should be honest about what the effects of these things are. That's what I think. And I think, if you're going to have a society where these drugs like Valium or any of these other crazy drugs are legal, you should have everything legal. Everything
make sure to regulate it.
Yeah, we're adults. Who is one grown adult to tell you what to do and what not to do with your life or your body, as long as you're a grown adult? Keep it away from children for sure, and educate everybody.
It's going to affect people that don't
for a
use
while.
It'll affect them.
It will.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, if it's legal, the whole crime aspect is bullshit because it'll still be crime. Because whether it's legal or not, people still don't have money when they're addicted, so they're going to still rob and steal.
That's
so
a good
that whole
point.
Crime aspect.
Do you think more people would be addicted if it was legal?
Yeah, you know why? Because if it's social, if it's okay at a party to put out a plate of cocaine, a person that's not as educated at that age, and kids at 15 and 16 think they're invincible. No matter how educated they are, they still think they're invincible.
Yeah, but they can still get it. There's no shortage of cocaine, and the real problem is the cocaine they're getting is all cut with speed and all kinds of other shit. At least if cocaine was legal, you'd get cocaine. You'd get real cocaine.
But here's the difference with that. You say they could still get it, but the person that isn't sure whether they want to do it or this or that, they're not going to go out and hunt for it, okay? That person that's not sure, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, if it's right there and acceptable, it's easier for them to do.
Maybe. Okay? Well, you counter that with education. I think bottom line is, first thing, all plants should be legal. All of them. Whether it's salvia divinorum, whether it's marijuana, even cocaine. If you eat coca leaves aren't dangerous at all. It's no more dangerous than coffee. The way it's eaten in Peru, the way they chew the coca leaves, they actually get vitamins and minerals from coca leaves, and it's a better buzz than caffeine is, and it's not bad for you. It's a synthetic, processed version of cocaine that's cut with speed and all that other shit. That's where it becomes dangerous.
Well, coke, good coke, everybody says it's cut with speed. It's speed. If you're smoking it or shooting it, the speed is gone. Usually, you cook it out, and you got pure.
Well, you're going hardcore here.
Well, but that's what it leads to.
Taking it to another level. If you're shooting it, whoa. Well, when you got that needle in your cock.
Well, I don't know. It's such a debatable thing, and there's no. It's that legalizing or not legalizing is almost like arguing about religion or politics.
It's like
it is in a way, because people look at it as a religious thing. Like they look at it the same way. They have like rights and wrongs and what's black and white. But I think for sure adults should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Who am I to tell you can't do heroin? If you want to do heroin, if you know everything about heroin, you're educated, you know what the facts are, and you want to do it, what the fuck, do it.
I know some casual coke users. There's not that many, but I know a few that they do it once in a while, they're not addicted to it, and it's like, it works for them. Now, there's always going to be things where it's like, well, some kid's going to get it.
Yeah.
You have to weigh the positives and negatives.
Oh, do you think
the amount of crime that's around because it's illegal, I think, outweighs the bad stuff that's going to happen when people have more access to it.
It's just education. You need education in treatment centers.
But there's no education at 15 or 16. There is none, because you look at how much education.
Why don't they have it? Well, they would be forced to. Parents would be forced to educate them. They'd be forced to educate them.
No, I'm not saying there isn't any. They get it. They just don't listen because they don't think anything. How many 15 and 16-year-old kids got pregnant? All right, and there's a lot of education when it comes to
but
sex.
that's different, dude. You got a boner, you're making out, shit happens.
Those kids are being lied to about pot, and they know that's wrong. And they're like, well, what about this coke? You say that's bad too? I don't know.
That is a problem. That's a big part of the problem. Yeah. But when I was a kid, man, I learned quick. I had a buddy of mine who was selling. He was selling coke, and him and his girlfriend would just do blow all day. He lost like 30 pounds. He looked like a fucking skeleton. He'd hide in his attic all day. Yeah. Just watch TV and do blow. And I looked at him and was like, fuck cocaine, man. That does that? Fuck that. People learn. You see people fucking up and you learn. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to learn from screw-ups in our environment. All right, it's the drug show here.
Every time I'm on, it turns into drugs.
What else we got,
comedy.
Do you want more drug guys, or you want to try some?
Let's see if someone's got a different
Who has questions about rainbows?
How about UFC stuff? Do you want to try that, Joe?
I had this discussion with my students. Yeah, put that guy on. The guy had his discussion with his students.
Dave from New York, go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Good.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm a teacher, man, and I've had this discussion in my class even with regard to when you were talking earlier about outlawing it and the economic effects of it. I believe that the government can even get rid of the drug trade here to a certain degree, or at least bring a lot of people to their knees, a lot of the big time kingpins, but that they choose not to because of the economic consequences of that. And I've had this discussion in my classroom with my kids, and it's been a great debate with them,
How old are your kids?
Well, I teach seniors.
Okay.
Yeah, seniors, they can kind of grasp the concepts, They kind of already know that they're getting fucked too. I mean, by the time you're 17, you kind of realize that your parents are just dummies who had kids.
Is there any really hot seniors that, you're going, come on, there's got to be some fucking hotties you're going, oh, Jesus.
Listen, honey, you want some coke? After school, come back.
In 2 years, in 2 years when you're out of school. Where do you teach? What state?
Well, I'm in New York right now, but I just came from Florida, so I've been teaching in Florida for the past year and a half.
Christ. Florida seniors?
Now, what are the kids, how do the kids mostly feel? Are kids like, there's a lot of kids that are saying that drugs are bad, or other kids saying that the government's lying? Like, what do 17-year-old kids feel about this shit?
They think that weed should be legal. You know, but the one thing that I've heard too through the grapevine, and you know, we all of us know what's going on with our students. A lot of girls now are sniffing coke as an appetite suppressant.
Really?
So you know, and you were talking about education before. They know how bad the drugs are, but they feel that it's better to be thin and attractive for whatever reason.
Yeah, we got a fat friend who smokes cigarettes for that, Brian. Brian smokes cigarettes to stay skinny.
Yeah, so you got to...
when you're 18 and white, you are invincible. And you're like, yeah, I know people get addicted, but I won't.
So
I am on top of the world.
You got
I think that's a big part of it, too.
How do you know what it's like to be 18 and black?
I had friends that told me.
How do you know what it's like to be 18 and black?
Oh, what do you mean? I don't.
Maybe they're invincible, too.
Yeah.
No.
Why did you say 18
No,
and white?
it starts at 9 when they're black.
Harass them and stuff. You never saw Boys in the Hood. Hello.
Here's the thing, too. You got to educate these kids. You know, they think cocaine is gonna keep the weight off. You got to tell them, look, if you're going to be anorexic, you got to do laxatives. You got to, you know, you can't. If you're going to pick a disease and you want to have an eating disorder, do it right. Okay. You're going to be a cross addict.
Bulimia is your choice.
Thanks a lot, dude. Thanks for calling in, man.
You're welcome.
Take somebody else, man.
Right. More drugs. Sure. Anthony from Virginia, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and agree with Joe on this, man. I mean, the fact is, if you ask anybody, if, you know, hey, buddy, you ever tried cocaine or you ever do cocaine, and they say, oh, no, I don't do that. Nobody says, if you ask them why they've never done it, they never say, oh, it's because it's illegal. People don't make choices about drugs based on legality.
That's a good point.
That's a real good point.
Yeah, I've never done coke just because it seems so fucking harsh.
Yeah.
So nobody I've ever asked. I mean, I've asked hundreds of people this question, and the same thing holds true. And Joe, to jump on your stuff a little bit more about this, I mean, if you could get some kind of leverage around, you know, trying to get some support around the drug thing, all you have to do is say, look, let's legalize everything and use all the money that we create government-wise to fund education.
Yeah, but the problem is
parents behind it.
The problem is the money would go to the government. It's just like your taxes. Where the fuck does it really go?
Yeah.
I know. You know, you're always going to.
How much education is there for alcohol abuse?
Yeah, like zero. Yeah, all that money that goes to tobacco. How much education is there to tell kids that tobacco's bad for you? It's like a fucking commercial. Every couple of years you see something. Just say no to smoking.
Thing you can possibly do.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the cigarette numbers are really insane. If you think that the government is protecting you, alcohol is an herb. It's a plant, just like marijuana is, except it's a plant that kills 500,000 people a year in this country alone, man. I mean, that's a crazy number.
I've done every single drug imaginable besides maybe like a heroin or crack, and I can tell you by far, alcohol, I've done more stupid stuff by drinking a couple of beers than anything I've ever done by doing shrooms or acid or any of the other things I've tried in my life. Alcohol by far is the worst.
Here's what I think. This weekend, if people are getting high or drinking and they come to Governor's in Levittown where I'm at, it's not going to really bother me if they come Friday.
What if they're doing coke, Rich?
If they're doing coke, as long as they buy my DVD after the show.
What if they can't shut the fuck up? What if they're doing coke
I'm
and they
fucking
just yawn in the audience?
I know how.
Yeah, cigarettes are the fucking worst. It's the biggest killer, and it makes your pussy stink. So stop it.
I quit smoking almost 6 months ago.
Girls who smoke cigarettes, they always have like a weird smell of their pussy. It's always just this weird fucking funky disease. Like your body's fighting it off in every cell, and your pussy's not spared from that stink. Yeah. It's everywhere. It's in your yellow fingernails, and your skin's a weird gray color, and your pussy smells like death.
Have you ever smoked? Have you ever smoked cigarettes?
I smoked once when I was 15. I tried it. I didn't like it. I quit. I got a joke about blowjobs are way more addictive. I go, you get one good blowjob when you're 15, you're fucked for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Blowjobs just haunt you like a bad memory.
All right.
What do we got?
Craig from New Jersey's got a question for Joe. Go ahead, buddy.
What's going on? Yo, first off, I'm pretty stoked that Opie gave you the reins, Joe.
Thanks, man.
You hate Opie?
Yo, so what's up with these lollipops? Like, are they worth it? Where do you get them?
Well, I get them in California. In California, they have these medical marijuana dispensaries. They call them wellness centers. It's hilarious. You walk into a fucking store. I mean, it's basically a store. You show them your prescription, and you buy weed. You know, and the place that I go to, you buy it with a fucking credit card. I pay for it with American Express. Buy just bags of weed. I buy pot soda, pot lollipops.
Pot soda,
but you got to have
gotta have a prescription.
But how do you get the prescription?
You go to a doctor. The doctor says, "What's wrong?" You say, "I get headaches." When do you get get headaches. Whenever I think about the fact that pot's illegal. Bang, you got a prescription.
Really?
Yeah, it's that fucking easy. They're trying to give away prescriptions. My doctor's hilarious. He's this cool old black dude. He was an emergency room surgeon for 25 years. So he just saw fucking gunshot wounds and people getting run over by cars and shit. And now he just dispenses weed. And when you walk into his office, the first thing he says, "You look sick. You look sick, my man. You need some medicine. You need some healing. How about you, my friend? You look sick too. Sit down. I'm gonna be right with you." And he just looks at you, man. Isn't weed a wonderful thing? Isn't it wonderful? I'm like, dude, it's the best, man. Would it be a better world if everybody smoked weed? I go, it would be a better world. And he's just writing my prescription while he's saying that.
He really thinks it's not harmful at all, and it's like, why shouldn't people have it if it'll help them out?
It's all it is. It makes people nicer. It makes people more relaxed, and all the prejudice that we have on it is all based on propaganda. Yeah, there's some fucking dumb stoners
and the good
out
thing
there,
about
but there's some dumb everything out there. There's all kinds of dumb people, and if you get a fucking retard high, they're still gonna be retarded. What's up, dude?
So how long do you think before Jersey's like California?
I don't know, man. People got to fight for it. The thing about California is it's the most progressive state in the country, so people have been fighting for it for a long time. And in 1996 is when they passed this Proposition 215 and made it legal. So they got to fight for it. There's 11 states right now that have medical marijuana, and it's growing. But you know what, man? It's not an easy battle because it's a battle of education. People even in California. There's a city near my house in Agora where they don't want it, so they booted it out and they passed a law. You can't have a medical marijuana dispensary in Agora. It's real weird because it's state legal, but it's not federally legal. So if anybody people complain, then the federal government, the DEA, can come down on them. It's all fucked up, man.
When you say about marijuana, I don't know, whatever in jail. Now, these aren't just marijuana that's been busted with like an ounce or less that are doing.
No, a lot of it's dealers, But I mean, people get busted in certain states. You get busted with a joint, you go to fucking jail.
Yeah,
you go to jail for like 6 months in certain states.
No.
Yes, man. There's some zero
certain
tolerance
places way harsher than other places.
Yeah, there's a lot of states that are living in the fucking 30s. They don't know what's going on.
Think about this too in terms of like when it's going to be in New Jersey, like legal or to have. California was the first one to outlaw smoking inside.
Yeah.
And then how long did that take for New York to catch on?
A few years, but it's more controversial than that because of children. Here's the bottom line, man. There's a big chunk of this country that's living in the fucking dark ages, and if you don't think that's true, take a drive. Get in your car in New Jersey and drive across the country and stop every 2 hours and look around.
Yeah.
You'll be fucking shocked.
Oh, shit. You can find it
Go to Newark.
in parts of Jersey. You can find it in
most of the country is a red state, and the reason why they're red states isn't because they're educated and because they've thought this out. They're a red state because those people are saying the right shit for them. Family, God, this, that, and they're simple-minded people who want everything in a little simple-minded box. And they hear drugs and they just go, oh, bad.
Yeah.
Bad drug is gonna fucking ruin this country, and that's all they hear and that's all they think. And it's gonna take a long time. The internet is helping it. The internet and education and more people standing up and telling the truth about it.
That's why Jews got such a bad rap in the Midwest and now South because all the propaganda. Yeah, when the farms were being foreclosed back in the 80s, when they were just. The government was
farm aid time.
Yeah, was closing farms because they were, the head of supremacist organizations and stuff to recruit people. The Jew bankers are closing your farms, and Jews didn't even run the banks. Jews never, Chase Manhattan. These weren't Jew-run banks, but these people didn't have any knowledge. And they needed
an enemy, and it can't be yourself. It's got to be the one with the horn.
Well, you always got to point the finger.
It's too hard to look deep into things. So the first thing they hear is the thing that's going to stick. For most people, the first thing they hear is the thing they're going to remember. Yeah. It's real hard to look in and do a Google search and start reading articles on the internet and pick up a book and find out the history of it.
Yeah.
People don't do that. They hear one thing. Jew banker. Those motherfuckers.
Yeah. And it's great to have an excuse, too.
That's why I always got laid. The first thing I said to the girl is, I'll never hurt you. And, that sticks. The first thing. I'll always be there for you.
What do you got, dude?
All right, let's get a girl in here. Wendy from Maryland. Go ahead.
Hi.
What's up, Wendy?
Hi, Joe. I just wanted to let you know, first of all, I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you, too.
I love watching you on UFC. I love it. But I have a question. First of all, I think you should run for president. I love your views.
Why do you want to get me to get shot?
No.
You would definitely get shot.
I would be president for about 13 minutes.
Unless you had a Jew vice president, you'll never get shot.
They've got that whole president thing wrapped up. There's no presidents anymore. The last time we had a president, he took a slow ride in a convertible through Dallas.
Yeah.
There's no presidents now. There's spokesmen for giant corporations. That's all it is.
True.
I mean, I think we need a big meteor to clean everything up.
My other question is, you have those suckers. Are they chronic candy suckers?
No. The chronic candy just tastes like pot.
Yeah,
this is made with pot.
Okay, because that's what I was going to say. I had those chronic candy ones, and they sucked. I did not like them at all.
No, those are disgusting. Joe gave me my first pop or whatever it's called, and I called him El Diablo for the next month because it seemed fine. It was like, I'm just looking, nothing's happening. You're like, easy on this. I'm like, whatever, fuck you, easy. I don't feel anything. And then I just started seeing my God and my devil fighting out for control of my soul.
People always want to claim machismo when it comes to pot. Like, dude, I'm fine. Like I told you, I fucked Charlie Murphy up, dude. I fucked that guy up. He wouldn't get high before he went on stage for the rest of the tour.
But also, it tastes like butterscotch.
Yeah.
That's never bad for you. Butterscotch.
Well, you've had those sodas too, right? I give you
sodas. That was a good fucking all body buzz. It was really good. Tastes like crap though.
I got some stuff that'll rock you, dude. I got some little Listerine strips, those little things you put on your tongue. Yeah, like little breast strips. They're little strips.
Yeah.
You put it in your tongue, and all of a sudden you're on fucking Pluto.
It's called blotter acid.
No, it's called pot. It's called pot Listerine strips, man.
Where do you live in Maryland?
Cumberland. It's a small hick town. Yeah.
Do they have any? Is a lot of pot there and stuff?
Yeah. Well, that's all there is to do here.
The problem is you never know what you're getting. You know, that's the thing about the medical marijuana thing in California is you know exactly what you're getting. You know what strain it is. You know, like, where it's coming from. You know the percentage of THC. You know, it's like they've got it down to a science in California.
Cops don't really care, too.
They don't give a fuck.
How bad is it in New York? People,
I don't think they care.
No. I hosted the High Times Music Awards here. We did it at BB King's, and there was fucking weed passed around left and right here.
Really?
And cops are outside. I don't know how they did it. I don't know who they greased up or what. But the thing about California is it's so overwhelming. In San Francisco, there's twice as many medical marijuana dispensaries as there are Burger Kings. There's 40. There's 20 McDonald's, rather. 20 McDonald's, 40 medical marijuana dispensaries. Yeah.
Well, they're adding more McDonald's now because of it.
They're not stopping. Cool. They won't stop.
You know what?
All right, thanks, Wendy.
I want to hear, is anybody for the making drugs illegal? Do you have any callers that way?
Oh, yeah, you'll get called.
Not on this show. No.
Not yet.
Fucking Opie and Anthony, dude.
What are you kidding me?
Hear the other side.
Hey, half these people haven't left their basement. What are you kidding me? They want to make treadmills illegal.
If you're going to make drugs illegal, you got to make the dangerous ones illegal first, and no one's doing that. Alcohol and tobacco. Those are number one and number two. Those are the fucking scary ones, man. Those are the ones that are killing people.
There's too much money behind that. They're not going to...
Guys, I want to take a quick break, and there's a bunch of UFC questions. You want to break and then go to those?
Those for Voss?
I don't need a break. Yeah. You need a break? Do you guys have to take a break?
No.
Then let's just keep going.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Right, switching gears. Let's go to Sean in New Orleans. Sean, go ahead, man.
Hey, Joe.
What's up, dude?
A couple UFCs ago, they had a dude with a caved-in chest.
Oh, yeah, that's Trey Telligman. Yeah,
and you didn't say anything. I was like, dude, you're a comedian.
Oh, no, I've talked about it before. He's fought a bunch of times in the UFC. He's a real good fighter. He actually got in a car accident when he was a baby. And, and he got really fucked up. And, you know, one of his pectoral muscles is missing and his chest is caved in.
He has no pectoral muscle?
Yeah.
And he can kill people?
It's real weird. Yeah, oh, yeah, he'll fuck you up.
Does he just not punch on that side? Or
no, he punches with both hands. He's a professional boxer.
So where does his power come from?
The punching is not actually from your chest.
Is it back?
Your chest is really to push things away from you. Punching is really from your back and your shoulders.
Okay.
That's the real muscles.
How does he get...
Like, if you look at, like, Roy Jones Jr., the real good puncher, never had a big chest. He doesn't have big triceps. It's all shoulders and biceps, you know.
If people get on top of him... Can he not throw them off?
He can throw them off. I mean, he can bench press. He's just, you know, on that side, he's using more of his shoulder and other muscles and triceps.
When you watch, like, the Ultimate Fighting, and like, if you watch a karate tournament, there's, like, so much more kicking, and the kicking looks more deadly, you know what I mean? In Ultimate Fighting, the kicking isn't as deadly as it is
Sure it is. Guys get knocked out. Let me tell you something. You get hit in the head.
Boards.
It's a little more difficult to land a kick because it's a little slower. And you know, there's it's a little more obvious. You see it coming. You use your whole body when you do it. But if a guy lands a fucking kick to your head, dude, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys can take a good punch. There's very few guys who can take a kick to the head.
Well, a side kick or like that, you're talking, you know, a roundhouse to the head, you're talking, right?
Any kind of kick to the head, man. Most of the kicks that land to the head.
The knee to the head?
Yeah, flying knee, yeah. I mean, most of the kicks that land, I mean, if you land a foot and the guy's like moving away, you can get away with it. But if you get caught in the head with a fucking shin, like you get shin to the head, dude, that's like getting hit in the head with a baseball bat. I mean, the only thing that saves guys is the guy's kicking you is really tired, you know, and he's exhausted and he's not getting full energy into it, or, you know, you're moving away from the blow. But it's way more powerful to kick somebody. Just think about
it's 4 times as strong.
Yeah,
legs.
The legs, and you're using your whole torso, and that's.
But it's just that when I mean, years ago when I used to watch karate tournaments, or you would see like, you know, a taekwondo tournament, whether it's pussy or this and that, and you'd see like a reverse roundhouse, and it was just so, you know, clean like that. You know what I mean? Just you know, and the guys are sparring, you see just back and forth, and it almost looks like a fucking, like it's orchestrated. You know what I mean? And then with Ultimate Fight, you'll never see like a reverse roundhouse.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
well,
you do?
Like a wheel kick or something, you do.
Yeah.
But the guys have to be really good at it. See, the thing about mixed martial arts is everybody's coming from a different discipline. A lot of guys are coming from wrestling. A lot of guys are coming from kickboxing. And there's very few guys that are coming from Taekwondo. But the guys who are coming from Taekwondo, if they know how to use that shit, there's a few kicks. Like my background originally was in Taekwondo. Most of Taekwondo is useless. But there's a few kicks that work. Like David Loiseau's got a nasty spinning back kick, and he stopped Charles McCarthy with it in the UFC, and it's a fucking badass move, and very few guys throw it. But if a guy's good at it and he throws it and it lands, it'll fucking cripple you, man. It's like getting hit with a telephone pole in the middle of your chest. And then there's wheel kicks or a spinning heel kick. If nobody's doing those yet, but those will knock you the fuck out, man. If someone's good at it and they figure out how to do it, it's going to enter into the UFC. It's just going to take some time. The sport is evolving right now. Right now, what we're seeing is, step 3 or 4 in a multi-step process of this sport becoming, it's the sport of fighting, and there's a whole bunch of different ways to fight. And initially they thought, when the UFC was first around, well, it's only about grappling, man. If Royce Gracie gets a hold of you, he takes you to the ground. Well, guys figured out how to not get taken down to the ground. They figured out how to keep away and knock you the fuck out standing, like a guy like Chuck Liddell. So all of a sudden that became the way to fight. But there's going to be people that figure that style out too. There's going to be better kickboxers. There's going to be guys who figure out how to pull guard. It's a constant evolution, and it's a young sport. I mean, it's only been around in this country really as Ultimate Fighting since 1993.
I don't know if I was what I was watching, but isn't there guys that just come in that don't have a martial art background that are just barroom brawlers?
No, those guys are fucked.
That was in the old days.
What was that?
That's it. I mean, Tank Abbott. I mean, everybody calls about Tank Abbott a barroom brawl. Tank Abbott's a serious wrestler. He knows how to wrestle. He's an athlete. He knows how to box. I mean, he's not an untrained fighter.
Yeah.
He puts on this thing like he fights in bars, and he will fight in bars, and he does like getting drunk, and he does like doing that. But the bottom line is that guy knows how to fight. The reason why he fought in all those UFCs and did so well is because he knows how to fight. You can't just take a guy with no training who thinks he's a badass and fight, because it's like saying you don't know how to speak a language and someone teaches you a few words and you go run and try to have a conversation with someone. Not even have a conversation, but have an argument with someone. I mean, that's what it's like. These guys are so fucking good now. There's so many guys that are so good in so many areas, in wrestling and boxing and kickboxing. They'll just fuck you up. You got no chance.
That's like when Tyson went to prison. There was someone that wanted to test him, because he might have been the tough prison guy, but Tyson was a fucking fighter.
Yeah.
And just probably knocked every fucker that came out.
Well, I bet they just left him the fuck alone, man. I mean, who wants to get punked by Tyson?
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
All right, Tim from Florida. Go ahead.
Hey, Joe. Quick question for you, man. I'm looking to get into it, and with all the studios that are popping up here and there, especially in Florida, is there a website that you can help out a guy starting out?
Yes, the best website you can go to for mixed martial arts is MMA.tv. There's a forum called The Underground. The Underground Forum. It's the best mixed martial arts website in the world, bar none, without a doubt. Any questions you have about legitimate gyms or trainers or anything, pro fighters post on that. I post on that thing every day. I check it every day. Everyone that I know that's involved in the UFC, Dana White, anyone that I know that's involved in any of the different organizations, whether it's the IFL or Pride, they all check The Underground. The Underground is the shit. If you got any questions, go there. What part of Florida are you at?
Thanks, man.
What part of Florida?
Where am I in Florida? I'm in Port St. Lucie.
What's that near? Is that near Miami?
West Palm Beach, Sebastian.
How far is West Palm? West Palm Beach is not that far from Miami, right?
That's not.
No.
Listen, you got to go an hour. American Top Team. If you want to get involved in the UFC, American Top Team is in Florida, and it's literally one of the best gyms in the country. There's maybe 3 or 4 of the best gyms in the country. American Top Team is one of them, and it's run by this guy named Dan Lambert, who's this rich character who loves fighting. Put it together, and it's down there. I think they're in Miami, but I think you can go to just do a Google search on it and find them. But American Top Team is you couldn't get a better place to train. Some of the best trainers in the world there.
What do you think?
All right, thanks, man. Real quick, Liddell or Ortiz, who's better?
Liddell. He beat him before, and Tito Ortiz is a good fighter, but if you look at their skill set, I mean, look, anything can happen. Tito might win the fight. I mean, you can never guess. I mean, fights are crazy. That's why they fight in the first place. But if you look at the two skill sets, Liddell's a better wrestler. His takedown defense is insane, and he's got sick knockout power. And he put Tito to sleep already, so he's confident. The only thing that's going to fuck him up is if he goes into this fight and he doesn't train hard. And believe me, the last person he wants to lose to is Tito, so he's going to train hard. But who knows, man? Anything can happen. And plus, Tito Ortiz has got Jenna Jameson power.
Hey, for like the average person that's not gonna
that's real.
For the guy that's not gonna compete, what's the best thing for him? Like for somebody.
Well, if you're not going to compete, it depends on what you're doing it for. If you're doing it for exercise, I mean, some people like jiu-jitsu, some people like striking, they like boxing or Muay Thai. It's all in what you enjoy.
I like the jiu-jitsu because there's no real injuries.
Well, you get it. I've had 2 major knee surgeries. I've had 2 reconstructed ACLs. One of them's from Taekwondo, but 2 of them, I've had 3 knee surgeries, 2 of them from jiu-jitsu.
Really?
A meniscus tear and an ACL tear. I mean, you can get hurt. I'm sure. I've known a lot of guys. I've known guys break their arm, break their leg, break their ribs. Shit happens, but you don't get head injuries like you do sparring. When I used to kickbox, man, I'd go home and have fucking headaches. You'd lie in bed, and it sucks, man. Just sparring. You take shots, and it's not even your sparring partner's fault sometimes. You walk into something, he's trying to pull a punch, but you walk into a knee or something, man, and then your fucking head hurts. And the reason why your head hurts is because you got brain damage, bitch, and that shit's real, and I prefer not to get brain damage. So I try to limit my striking, and I just do a lot of jiu-jitsu.
How about Krav Maga?
That's for fags.
Thank you.
Right. Found somebody with a dissenting opinion on the drug issue. Josh from Oregon. Go ahead, man.
What's up, Joe? Good to hear you.
What's up, Josh?
Hey, I have just a little different take on the drug situation. Don't get me wrong. I love drugs. Fucking awesome. And from everything except the heroin and the meth, all that shit, fuck that. But if we open it up to everything, the stipulation is just drugs are kind of legal or they're all illegal, it's completely fucked up. Because the whole masses as a whole will just take themselves under, just take themselves down. And that's the only problem with opening them up to be legal is that everybody would just not have that stipulation like, I don't want to get caught, so we'll do it safely.
Well, I think you're a great example of how education is important in this country.
Well, he's your drug user. That's your lobby right there.
You know what I think, man? I think I don't want a fucking daddy. I'm a grown man. And I don't want the government to be my fucking daddy. I think the government should be really small.
Wait, hold on a second. First of all, no one under 25 should have a conversation because they're not smart enough. Maybe legal at a certain age and up. Maybe legal at 28.
There we go.
Not 21. Maybe when you're 28 and above.
Yeah, 21.
26.
As soon as you're legal, as soon as it's okay for you to fight. If you can go to war and fight for your country, you should be able to get high and think about why you're going to war to fight somebody you never fucking met. You want to do some mushrooms and think about the fact that we're having tribal war, and our tribe is sending us to another part of the world. I mean, that's a real problem with drugs, is that drugs would change all that shit. And that's what happened in the 60s. One of the reasons why they're so hard on drugs is because the culture of this entire country changed in the 60s. And it changed largely because of the consumption of psychedelics. Because of drugs, because of acid, because of LSD, and because of marijuana. I mean, that's what changed everything. And I think that's the reason why. See,
what was that guy's point?
The dissenting opinions, they're retards.
Yeah, the guy was building something in the background.
Yeah, but you're just saying. You just said their opinions are retards, but he's high. He's a user.
Yeah,
so what side is he? Is he a retard on the against side, or is he a retard because he's a user?
He was a retard. Well, he wasn't a retard. He was. This is what he was.
He was mentally retarded.
You say so.
Technically,
this is what I say. I think he's probably a little buzzed when he called us, and he probably not used to talking on the radio, and didn't come off as smooth as he wanted to. But the bottom line is, he's wanting to be protected. You know, that's what the guy's saying. You open up the door, and then everybody's going to do it. I don't want a daddy, man, okay? And there's going to be dummies out there, and there's going to be people doing stupid shit. But you know what? You can't protect people from themselves. And I'm a liberal in some areas, but I'm a social Darwinist, man. And I think that, you know, the only way evolution is ever going to really play out is if the weak fucking die off. And that's reality.
This is the thing with any laws, too. They raise the speed limit from 60 to 65. And they say, well, this will increase deaths by this much percentage.
Right.
They say, you know what? It's worth it.
Well, you know what, dude? They used to say that about women voting. You know, before they made... I mean, women have only been voting for less than 100 fucking years. And what they were saying before they allowed women to vote was they used to say it would kill society. It would destroy society. You cannot let women vote. And when women started voting, what the fuck changed? Nothing changed. Nothing.
Go to a network meeting. No.
That's not women voting.
It just leads from one thing to another.
It does.
Right. You know Comedy Central won't let you use the word bitch?
Huh?
You can't say bitch?
First of all,
you can say fucking shit and they'll beep it. Bitch, you can't even use.
First of all, I have
Whoa, really?
Yeah, they said no gay bashing, no use the word bitch, and no rape or AIDS jokes.
Dude, when we did the Man Show, and by the way, I know the Man Show sucked, and it was only partially our fault. Part of it was my fault because I was trying to do two shows at the same time, Fear Factor and the Man Show at the same time, and it was impossible. And there was way too many battles to fight over there. But part of it was the fucking restrictions they put on us were ridiculous. It made no sense, and it was in the Janet Jackson nipple era where everybody was going crazy. But we had a game show that Doug and I tried to do called Make Me Hard, where we did stuff and the guy would have a box on his dick and a light would go off when he got a hard on. We couldn't call it Make Me Hard, but we could call it Make Me Stiff. That was like a serious argument that we had, where they sit down, we think hard is too much. It's too much. We want to make stiff. You say stiff. What the fuck are you talking about? You're exchanging one word with another word that means exactly the same thing with no confusion whatsoever. It makes no sense. But they're all just trying to protect their job. They're all retarded.
Well, I have a pilot with them now, so I don't think anything they do is wrong. I think
What's your pilot, Rich?
It's called The Best Man. It's fucking hilarious.
What's it about?
Wedding, like we'll go up, I'll be the host and there's a new co-host every week.
Yeah.
And the couples get married and we go interview them, hang out with the family. He'll be with the wives, with the ladies, and I'll be with them, bachelor parties, softball, whatever, and we're just spending time with them and then during the wedding we go up and roast the couple. We just
really
find out a lot about them, and then
we find out.
Dude,
the week is
regular people can't take that. Most people can't take that.
Then they don't sign on. It was the pilot was so much. I did it with Patrice.
Is that the one I heard about where the executive wanted to come down and watch? Patrice lit into him.
How does everybody hear about everything in this fucking business?
Florentine.
Oh, Florentine. Can anything? It was so funny. And it just, it's so uncomfortable that, you go into, and if it,
That sounds like a good show.
Yeah, that could be really fun.
Has it been picked up, or?
Well, we're not finished. I got to go finish it up, do some voiceovers and stuff. And
sweet. So it's going to be called The Best Man?
Yeah.
Look for it, fuckers. What else we got?
Right. Bo in Tennessee. Go ahead, man.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
What's up, dude?
Hey, missed you on the last couple of UFCs, man. It just doesn't flow as well without you. But my question is UFC is just dominating as far as where boxing used to be, as far as popularity in a sport. Do you see like another brand coming up to compete with UFC? Because you look at like De La Hoya's fight coming up, he's getting paid like $40 million for this thing, and the UFC guys, I mean, some of them even have to work other jobs and can't train all the time. Do you see another brand coming up to compete with them?
Well, there's first of all, most boxers work other jobs. I mean, De La Hoya is not most boxers. Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell, those guys don't work other jobs, and they make millions.
Yeah.
But is someone going to come up to compete with the UFC? For sure. I mean, there's a bunch of different organizations right now that are coming up. Pride is starting to make their way into the United States. They're huge in Japan. At one point in time, they used to sell 90,000-seat theaters out or arenas out. I mean, they're monstrous in Japan. They've kind of dropped off a little bit because they have involvement with some organized crime stuff in Japan. It's a little funky over there. But there's also the IFL, which is another big organization that's coming up, and they have some fight shows on Fox Sports Net, and they have a whole team concept. They have like the California Anacondas and all these different teams and like 5-man teams, and they fight against each other and shit. And there's a bunch of other ones. There's a WFA, and it's growing all across the country. It's growing, and there's all sorts of new organizations that are constantly coming up. But the UFC has a giant jump on them. The UFC, they do it the best. They have the most money to throw at them. The guys who own the UFC are super rich dudes who spent an incredible amount of money. What most people don't realize about the UFC, before the UFC became popular, those dudes were $44 million in the hole. They had spent $44 million with no return. So they were constantly losing money before it actually caught on with the TV show The Ultimate Fighter, and then eventually the pay-per-view numbers went through the fucking roof, and now it's huge. But they were deep in the hole, and $44 million means you have to make $88 million. You have to, because you're in, I mean, that kind of money, you're in a 48% tax bracket. So you have to make twice that to make, to have that for profit. So these guys were deep in the fucking hole, and most people can't afford to get that deep in, so they bail out. Like, there's a company called the WFA. They're a huge organization. They have all these big money guys behind them, big plans. They put on one show in L.A. It tanked. They lost a shitload of money, and everybody backed the fuck out. And they were supposed to have a show next weekend in Vegas, and the show's canceled. And now they've moved it to sometime in January. I root for all of them, dude. I hope they all make it. I want these fighters to be making shitloads of money. It's a fucking tough way to make a living, and that's all I'm concerned with. I want to make sure these guys can retire comfortably, and they don't have to fight like way past the time that they want to because they need the money.
Yeah, I got one more question. Do you see another weight class coming in between the 155 and 170?
Yes. You know what? I'm doing a new show. It actually starts, it airs tonight, I think. Is today Thursday?
Yeah.
It airs tonight at midnight on Spike. It's called Inside the UFC, and I'm hosting it. And we sit down with Dana White, and that's one of the things we talk about is weight classes. There's gonna be a 145-pound weight class eventually, and they're gonna make the weight classes smaller. Instead of a big jump between like 170 and 185, they're gonna figure out what to do, and they're weighing it out. But the real thing is it has to go past the Nevada State Athletic Commission and all the other state athletic commissions as well. It's not as simple as let's just decide to make guys who weigh 110 fight. I mean, you have to get that weight class approved by the athletic commissions. So
yeah,
it's kind of
Uriah
tricky.
Faber's coming over there, right?
What's that?
Uriah Faber?
Yeah, Uriah Faber. Yeah, he was hanging out at the last UFC, and hopefully he'll be fighting over there. Yeah, there's a perfect example of a guy who's a great fighter, but he's not quite big enough to fight 155. But he's fucking awesome at 145. And there's a bunch of guys: Jeff Curran, Ivan Menjivar. There's a bunch of great guys who fight at 145, and I would like to see that weight class open up.
I'm good friends with Rich Clemente, and it just, 155 didn't suit him, and 170 is kind of too big for him, so it's an in-between for him, so.
Yeah, that's another good example. That guy should be fighting like 160 something,
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate it, Joe. Thanks a lot.
All right, dude. Take it easy, man.
I met these guys that I wonder if they do this around the country. I guess they do. They were called the Fight Club, and they get together every Saturday or Sunday
and beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah. But they're really. They're doing they're doing everything. They got weapons. They're doing
weapons.
Yeah,
weapons.
They're just, they're teaching. They're teaching and fighting, teaching each other and fighting. There's one day.
Do they fight with the weapons?
I didn't see that part. But they were there. The weapons were there. The sticks and whatever. Whatever. But these dudes were killers. I'm telling you, they were. There was one, he was so big, and he showed me, I go, just show me something. He took like that. I'm small anyhow, but they just practiced. And some of them were just so, the average-looking guy, maybe one was a little overweight. They're the kind of guy that if they cut in front of you in line, you'd say something to them, and they could kill you in the blink of an eye. Or if they cut you off in a car, you give them, you don't even know what half of these killers look like. And these guys were killers.
Well, there's a lot of guys who fight in the UFC that don't look that scary. And you look at them, they look like average-sized guys.
Boss doesn't look
Boss?
huge.
Did you say Boss?
Yeah.
Boss Rutan?
Yeah.
Boss Rutan looks like a fucking killer. Are you crazy?
Really?
If you saw Boss Rutan, you talk shit to him? The guy's a fucking
I don't
animal.
talk to anybody, but in clothes?
His neck is as big as your fucking waist.
Maybe
He's got a
I'm
shaved
wrong,
head. He's covered with tattoos. Tattoos on the palms of his fucking hands. And you look in his eyes, you see straight psycho. Boss Rutan.
Is that a better example?
He's talking about former UFC heavyweight champion, this guy Boss Rutan, former king of pancrase. Probably one of the most brutal strikers ever to fight in MMA.
If you have
shut the fuck up.
If you have a tattoo,
didn't think it looked that big.
If you have a tattoo above your neck, don't fuck with that guy.
All right, anybody can get a tattoo above your neck.
Yeah, but usually they don't care. They have nothing to lose.
Well, when you get choked out and you have a tattoo above your neck, you look even stupider.
That's funny.
You get tattoos on your face, like the game. When you like to choke out the game, I like to get that dude's back. Your little LA on your face, motherfucker. Go to sleep. Hey, look, all you have to do to get a tattoo in your face is go to a tattoo artist and be dumb enough to get a tattoo in your face. It's not
Those
so
are people
hard.
that don't think about the future.
Yeah, that's a
those
problem.
Guys aren't accountants.
Were you there when we ran into those fucking guys in San Diego with Bobby Lee? You weren't there. It was me and Jimmy Schubert and Bobby Lee. This fucking guy had these tattooed tears in his face, and Jimmy Schubert was trying to pick up his girl, and we almost got killed.
His girl?
Yeah, we almost got
Schubert?
killed.
God, that guy's a dick.
And I'm like,
pussy.
the guy's got tattoos on his fucking face.
Teardrops.
Yeah, what more does he have to lose?
He's not a clown.
Yeah.
He's not a
Either that guy's a killer or he's really sad.
Yeah.
Either way, leave his girlfriend alone.
He's not a clown. He looked like a fucking straight killer. He looked like he just got out 20 minutes ago.
Most tattoo guys, when they have them on their face, they are pretty tough. Not,
or at least reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
reckless.
right, so that whole thing, you know.
Unless they have like lips, like they tattooed a kiss.
Well, if you see a guy with a tattoo of the leprechaun, the Fighting Notre Dame Irish, you don't worry about him.
Yeah.
All right? Or the Tasmanian Devil, all right, hack. That's a hack tattoo. But when you see a guy with spider webs on his elbow, okay, or a tear,
that's why it doesn't look cool.
or the SS signal, the SS on his hand, maybe you should back off.
Have you ever watched felony fights? You ever watch some of that shit on the internet?
Like in jail? Fight?
No, they take these guys who just got out of jail and they have them fight, and there's fucking no rules. They fight in like a fucking orchard, like in
really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. They fought in like some dirt field. And this one guy got out of jail covered in tattoos, and this fucking Mexican guy beat the fuck out of him.
Really?
One guy didn't know how to fight, and one guy did. And there's no rules, and they don't stop the fight. So the guy was out cold, and this Mexican guy is dropping knees on him while he's out cold, like throwing his whole body weight down on him. Bang! Over and over again. Bang! And the guy's making the most disturbing noise. The guy who was unconscious is going... Like his body is just fucking... Because when you get knocked out, it's basically like your brain is just short-circuited and sent an electrical charge through your system. So all of his system is firing all fucked up all at once. And he's making all these crazy noises, and he's stiff because it's not regulated, man. Is that the fight? That's it.
That's a trailer from Felony Fights.
Oh, that's a trailer from Felony Fights.
There's 3 people going at once.
Oh, there's some of them. I mean, but the one that I saw, I've seen a couple of them, but the one that I saw, this one white guy and this Mexican guy, and the Mexican guy knew how to fight, and the Mexican guy beat the fuck out of this white guy.
Is that Tracy Morgan?
Yeah, Felony Fight. It's crazy. Someone's gonna die in that.
I gotta start going to these sites. I don't know these sites on the internet. I gotta start finding. Look at that. That's all night. You can watch that stuff.
How can you not know that? These
Real fights.
These guys beat the fuck out of each other. Bare knuckles.
What do they get? Money?
I guess they probably pay him. You know, they must give him something.
Yeah. Oh my! Look at that.
Yeah, dude. You don't even know because they don't stop the fights. The guys are unconscious and they get smashed.
Well, they don't have to pay for reps.
They pulled this guy off eventually, but he had already dropped like 3 or 4 knees. I mean, talking about his whole body weight, like leaping up in the air and then dropping a knee on this guy's fucking face.
Yes, they just go to some corner.
This is in the street.
Yeah. Oh, they fight everywhere, dude. They do it in parking lots. The one that I saw was like in an apple orchard. These guys are in between trees beating the fuck out of each other.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Tattoos on his knees.
Look at these guys. Look at her.
Yeah. Well, this is hard to listen to. What else we got?
I know. Yeah,
Look at. People driving their car. Look at what, fuckface?
I thought they were all on the internet.
XM sucks. This is bullshit.
It's hilarious.
I got the bad version.
Oh, this is exciting radio.
We got anybody else calling?
We're going to do some magic tricks now.
Dave from Tennessee. What's your question?
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
What's up, dude?
Hey, listen, I mean, I love the UFC. I do. But I think it's just gone too commercial. I mean, back in the day when it first started, they would fight 3 or 4 times a night. I mean, that was fighting, men of men's there. Now, I mean, but you kind of summed it up a few minutes ago. You said that they were in the hole. Now I kind of understand why they had to, change a few things and make it more commercial. But I mean, I just really enjoyed it when they, they would get in there fighting, like I said, 3 or 4 times a night sometimes.
It's kind of interesting, but as an athlete, as a fighter, it's the worst way to do it because those guys, if they're fighting 3 or 4 times a night, man, like we've seen it in Japan. Japan still has tournaments. Pride, they'll still have they have their the middleweight Grand Prix and the heavyweight Grand Prix where they make guys fight twice in a night, and you get fucked up, dude, and you got like an hour to recover. And guess what? If you break a foot or you break your shin or your hand, you're not going to be able to fight good in the next fight. You're not going to be able to fight as well. So you're getting guys. Well, yeah. They get hurt real bad, then they have to fight again. So they don't get to put on the best performance. And it's not fair because one guy can win a fight in 10 seconds with one punch, and the next guy can fight a grueling decision fight and be completely battered and have those two fight in the finals. And it could have been a great fight, but it's not going to be now because one guy's all fucked up and injured and the other guy's fresh.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes it a little more interesting, and it kind of weeds, I feel it weeds out the weaker ones. But I mean,
if you've ever fought before, you would understand. I fought in Taekwondo tournaments where you had to fight many times in a day, and Taekwondo is nothing compared to the UFC, but you get hurt, man, and then you have to fight like an hour later, and you're all fucked up. It's just, you can't compete at your best, and fighting is so fucking dangerous as it is, and these guys are spending, 6 to 8 weeks in these training camps, and they're doing plyometrics, and they're watching their diet, and they're running up hills, and they're doing constant drills, and they're trying to be in the best shape and have the best technique they possibly can. Now, when you're entering into this competition and you're having to fight 3 and 4 times a night, it takes all that shit out of the mix. Now you're dealing with injuries. Now you're dealing with luck. Like one guy gets one punch in and knocks the guy out, and then the other guy has to fucking fight a 4-round or a 3-round hard decision. It's real hard.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I've fought some smaller venues. I mean, I understand it does take a lot out of you. But there's a few changes. Like they went with the gloves. Now I understand that's to protect their hands. There was a lot of broken fingers and whatnot at the beginning. But I mean, what I'm saying is, are they forcing them to do that, to put the gloves on and and also they went to rounds. It was kind of fun to just watch them go and go and go until there was a winner.
It's there's something to be said for having guys fight with no rounds, for sure. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I mean, if you want to look at it as like just a regular fight, yeah, I mean, have them fight to the finish. No rounds, no judge. Just like one guy taps out or doesn't. And you know what? That would be kind of interesting if they had fights like that every now and then. The problem is, for the athlete, man, I mean, you get guys that are real close to each other's skill level, and you fight, you having guys, I mean, Royce Gracie fought Sakuraba in Japan. They fought for 90 fucking minutes, man. And you have these kind of fights where, and you take some serious injuries, man, and you can't fight again. You might not be able to fight again for 6 months or a year. I mean, and you might not ever be the same guy again ever. You might take, two guys might have a decision, and they might fight to a decision loss, but both those guys are ruined. Both those guys, they might have ripped ligaments and get fucking brain damage and break their hands and fuck their eye sockets up. You can get really badly damaged, and we have to think about it as like, if a guy like Chuck Liddell, I want to see that guy fight like every few months. I want to see him fight every 5-6 months or whatever it is. He's not going to be able to if you fight like that. If you fight like as long as we wanted to in the old UFCs where they had no time limit, there's no way these guys are going to be able to fight very often. You got to think about the health of the athletes, and to protect the athletes, I think the rounds and all that other stuff, I think it's a good thing. And I think giving these guys 5-minute rounds and then letting them recover for a minute, it makes the fight more exciting because they have more energy when they come back, and they have more enthusiasm when the second round, third round starts. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
The whole thing about money you're talking about. Once the guys that went in debt, $44 million. You need sponsorship. You need endorsements.
Well, not only that, pay-per-view they have a window. They have a 3-hour window in pay-per-view. Man, you can have a fucking 3-hour fight with some of these guys. Oh yeah. I mean, 2 guys that are really evenly matched. Fuck, man. Especially if they know there's no time limit, they might really pace themselves. And it could get boring as fuck.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, maybe I'm just being a little bit selfish, but it was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch, man. You could always just rent the DVDs.
Yeah, boss, wipe your mouth off. You're slobbering.
Are you talking to me, bitch? Hold on. Did he hang up?
He didn't have his headphones on. I said, wipe your mouth off. You're slobbering.
That's okay. I'm slobbering on the radio.
How did you know without your headphones on that he was talking about you?
Because I'm the only slobber in the room. All right? Nobody else is spitting when it's like a Gallagher concert when I talk.
What else we got, dude? Are these
Rick.
all fighting questions?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's how crazy the UFC is, man. You talk about weed and drugs, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Rick, California, go ahead, man.
Wait, hold on, Rick. You don't have any questions about how to get to governors of Levittown? Or
Not a
have
one.
any of those questions?
Like the LIE.
Let me check the instant feedback. Nope, none there either. Rick from California, go ahead.
Ray, probably?
Sure, you.
What's up, dude? All right. Hey, what's going on, One? Joe, got a question for you. I've always when I first started watching UFC, I always liked watching it because it was, you got to see all different kind of styles and everything. It just, I think recently it's kind of gone towards maybe not recently, but it's a lot more wrestling than anything. You know, these guys try to put themselves on the ground as fast as they possibly can, and there's nothing to actually sit there and. You can watch them wrestle, but that's about the length of what you can do, as opposed to K1.
Which fights are you talking about, man? There's more stand-up in the UFC than anything.
Yeah, I think it didn't go to the ground enough.
Well, I don't know, because I love watching K1. K1 is nothing but stand-up fights.
K1's great.
They call it.
K1 is great, man, but there is K1. I mean, it's still an option. You could always just watch K1 if you don't like watching the ground.
No, that's fine. But what I'm trying to do is I really want to enjoy UFC, but it's just like I said. You sit there and watch them. 30 seconds into the round, they're on the ground wrestling, and then they're that's as far as you can.
What's your name? What's your name?
Like after a little bit of that, you just kind of tune it out. Just like, okay, get up now and swing some punches. That's what I want to see.
What's your name?
Ray.
Ray?
Yeah, Ray. This is Opie. Do you listen to the show a lot, Ray?
Sure, boss.
Oh, fine.
Well, dude, I hear what you're saying, but I disagree. I think I like watching the whole thing. I like watching all the options, but a lot of those really good K1 guys, they're starting to bleed over into mixed martial arts. Mirko Krokop, who's probably one of the best guys, if not the best guy in Pride, next to Fedor. I mean, that guy is a top K1 striker, and he's fighting MMA now. And Jerome LeBanner is on his way over. Peter Ertz, a lot of those guys. Mark Hunt, he's fighting in MMA now in Japan. So we're going to see a lot of those guys. We're going to see a lot of those K1 guys eventually make it into the UFC.
Oh, that's cool. Like I said, I've always respected UFC. It's just, it's like I said. It's
all right, shut up. We heard you.
Hey, everybody's different, man.
Get rid of him. He said the same thing 10 times.
Cool,
shut up.
I'll punch out.
All right, dude.
I like how that guy
was
like, didn't want to hurt your feelings. He was like,
why does it hurt my
feelings?
Well, because he came on, he goes, hi, Opie and Anthony. Didn't he say
yeah, he did say hi.
That's the kind of guy I don't want to go to Amazon and buy my DVD, okay?
Do not go buy it for $19.95 at Amazon.
What's the DVD called?
Huh?
What's the DVD called?
You stink, huh? What's the DVD? It's called Voss.
Voss?
Yeah, Dugout Doug, go fuck yourself. I got a text from some guy or a message. Now whenever I look at the Mary Tyler Moore statue, I'm going to feel dirty. I didn't jerk off on the statue, you idiot. I fucked it, okay?
Who would the statue? That's hardcore.
What else we got?
Pam.
Oh, that's a new tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Hold on, Pam.
That looks good, man.
50 hours worth.
This is,
how long did that take?
Like visual.
50?
Did you hang up on her?
50 hours.
This is visual radio, everybody. Joe just got a tattoo.
His arm is sleeved. That looks good. That's some nice work right there.
Thank you. Aaron Delavadova, GuruTattoo.com.
A lot of people don't know is that they were going to bring back Fear Factor, but then he got this tattoo.
I got his tattoo so they can't bring it back.
And then they canceled it. They said, no, we're done.
No. What do we got?
This was Pam from West Virginia.
What's up, Pam?
Hey, Joe. How are you?
How you doing, sweetie? I love that accent.
I've got one hell of a question and a job for you, buddy.
A question and a job? I don't want a job.
Yes, you do. We need UFC in West Virginia.
No, you need to get the fuck out of West Virginia. That's
you also need teeth out there.
That, will ya?
Why do you?
My husband that. He's driving truck right now, listening to you on the radio.
Oh, hey, dude. Well, whatever. I mean, West Virginia. I'm just talking shit. I've been there before. It was actually kind of nice. We did a Fear Factor home invasion in West Virginia.
Did you?
Yeah. People were very nice.
I've been fishing.
They're nice, but we live back in the 30s where you marry your brother. And
did you marry your brother? Is your brother out there driving a truck right now?
Yes, he is.
Hell yeah.
We were in
But we want UFC here really bad. What can we do?
Well, they are currently working to try to get it sanctioned in all the states, and they have a gang of lobbyists that are working exclusively for the Ultimate Fighting Championship right now and going all across the country trying to legalize it in all sorts of states. I know we're going to Ohio this year. I know we're going to England, which is obviously out of the country, but we're going to be going to Atlantic City, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. They're working on that, and they're working on doing it in a bunch of different states, but it's going to be all across the country eventually.
That's cool.
Good. I hope so, because we love it. And I got to meet Randy Couture in March of this year, and
Did you get
what
moist?
a man.
Did you get moist?
Did I? No, I cried like an idiot.
You cried when you met
I
him?
cried, yeah.
Wow.
I
Why'd you
cried.
cry?
I was just so excited.
Uncle's name was Randy.
Randy Couture is one of those guys. Is just an honor to meet that guy. Just fucking
it
coolest,
is.
nicest guy you could ever want to meet, and he'll beat the fucking
What
shit
kind
out
of
of you.
crying did you do? Did you
How you
like
doing?
bawl, or was it like a happy
No,
cry?
I couldn't. The tears just started rolling down my face, and Randy looked at my husband, and he said, "Is she going to be okay?"
Wow.
He said, "That is so sweet." He said, "I've never had anybody cry like that before."
That's cool.
I had a good West Virginia story. It's very, very racist.
All right, thanks, Pam.
I was
Okay,
working out,
thank you.
I was working in West Virginia. It's very racist. And me and this comic were playing golf. Folks, if you have any golf questions, I can answer them. I play a lot of golf. Anything you want to know about golf. And we're playing golf. So we're playing on this course. I don't know if you played golf, right, Ari?
I play golf, yeah, I play.
Okay, you know when sometimes you play, it's a 5-hour round, and you have to wait every shot.
Every
And there's nothing you can do because there's too many people out there, and they're slow.
It's old
right?
people, yeah.
There's a lot of, whatever, old or bad or just slow. So we're playing this course in West Virginia, and it's me and a comic, and they put us with two other guys, and it's slow. And it's a group in front of us of Afro-Americans.
Afro-American? What are you, fucking
I
Kramer?
got to get to the thing. I got to get to a point. And the two guys from West Virginia, you know why it's so goddamn slow? These goddamn niggers. Right? I go, what? Yep, that's why it's so slow. It had nothing to do with the two black guys, but they would blame anything on black people. You could tell. Right? The guy missed his shot. He missed... Goddamn niggers, right? He hits the ball in the woods. He blamed it on the blacks. Everything.
Really?
Yeah. It was just the funniest. So, I mean,
Wow.
Currents.
Golf.
All right, John from Indiana, go ahead, buddy.
The best racist term we heard was from...
Wait, hold on, John.
The best racist term was in Atlanta when we wanted to go to some club, and we asked some girl, we're like, hey, what about this club, Club 50 or whatever? She's like, no, I don't want to go there. We're like, why? We're like, too many elements there.
She goes, well, you got to be careful going there. There's a lot of the elements there.
Elements?
Was it
What?
fucking Earth, Wind, and Fire?
They're there?
What the fuck are you talking about, bitch?
What's up, dude? All right, John, go ahead, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good talking with you. I was trying to see where I get the videos at for the Amazing Races.
Oh, you can get them online, right?
Yeah, they're all. If you go to truechristian.com, it's not my website, but it's this guy's website. It's a Christian parody site, it's really fucking badass.
All right, I got one other question. Mr. Rogan, I watch all the UFC fights. Can you do pap, pap, pap for me real quick?
Pap, pap, pap? What?
Yeah, just, like when they get hit, that's what you do?
He was like, pop, 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 and he got hit.
There you go. All right, guys, have a good day.
What the fuck? Not only do I play golf, I do a lot of clothes shopping. I'll wear mostly designer stuff like True Religion. Or
Diesel? You got a nice Diesel shirt on there?
Diesel, I got True
Also,
Religion
keep in mind, there's
jeans.
two Jews here, so if you have any Jewish questions...
Yeah, feel free to ask a Jew.
That's just ask a Jew.
It's crazy how this fucking UFC thing, it's fucking nuts,
I've
man.
watched it on... Is that see, I don't want to fuck this up.
No,
What?
it's on Spike.
Is that the one on Spike?
Yeah,
of course.
But I mean, how crazy
But,
is it? This is all the questions we're getting. It's all UFC. That's how fucking nuts it is. I don't hardly ever get asked Fear Factor questions anymore. It's just UFC.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, man.
All right, this guy's been on hold for 2 hours.
Really?
No. Yeah, Chris, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Joe? I love you on UFC. I like the things you write on your website, especially Hell is for Children. That was a good read. But I never seen your stand-up. Sure, I never seen your stand-up. I'm dying to go to your show, but I'm kind of broke right now. I was wondering if you could hook me up with
Dude, if you waited online for 2 hours, I'll hook you up.
I did.
All right, man. You got 2 tickets. We'll get your name and your information, and I'm going to leave 2 tickets for you at the door. What show do you want to come to? What night?
Yeah, we'll put them on hold and and work out the details.
Where's he from?
You are from the New York area, right?
Yeah, I live in Jersey.
Okay, cool.
All right,
we'll put you on hold.
That's persistent.
Yeah, that's good. And a lot of times I like to go to garage sales and I remodel furniture I'll buy.
Do you?
So
I used to. Strip it down?
I strip
what
it
do you
down.
Do? Sand it?
Sand it, revarnish it. I bought this armoire for $18.
Armoire?
Whatever the fuck. It's an armoire. Oh, armoire. Oh, thank God.
How you say it, Ari?
Armoire.
Thank God.
Armoire?
Thank God.
I grew up with money.
O&A's not here to fucking trash me on that one. Whatever. $18 and I remodel it and turn it into an entertainment center. See, that's the kind of little, that's the things
that's ingenuity.
Do you do that for real?
I used to, yeah. Because I used to remodel houses and shit like that.
Did you have to get money for crack?
What's that?
Did you get money for crack?
No, for crack to get money, you well, you don't let it go past your teeth. That way you're not gay. You just...
I'm not really sucking dick. Chicks don't get the dick sucked; they get trick sucked. Did you ever see that chick?
No.
Pimps. It was one of those Atlantic. What is it?
All about
hookers on the point.
It's like a true Hollywood story about.
It was on the HBO. What the fuck is that?
That Hunts Point.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Was it about Atlantic City?
I think it was
I saw that one.
Yeah.
And none of them look like Pretty Woman.
Oh, she was.
Right away.
She was like, "Chick don't get the dick sucked; they get chick sucked."
She was angry. Angry at her people who gave her money.
On, a wig. They don't get their dick sucked. They get chick sucked. And if you've ever been in Atlantic City, you don't want to fuck anything in Atlantic City.
No.
Atlantic City's disgusting.
Yeah.
The girls down there, oh my
God. Trick suck, by the way,
the worst
is when
hookers
you
ever.
Oh yeah, they're bad.
Put the top of your mouth on a cock and then just rub it with
If you can't fuck a normal girl that you meet in Atlantic City, give up. Don't go to no escort
Atlantic
services.
City ain't a place you're going to get some pussy.
Yeah.
Believe you me.
They have good carny pussy, though.
I'll tell you one thing. You'd rather fuck a bowl of hepatitis than fuck these hookers there.
I pictured a glass bowl. I don't know what you pictured. I pictured like one of those big glass bowls that your grandmother would put a fucking salad in.
You just fuck it and watch yourself deteriorate.
A bowl of hepatitis.
All right, that's the old O&A 2-minute warning.
We did 2 hours and it went by.
That was fucking fun, man.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you. A lot of people don't know that even without Joe, Rich Voss can carry his own radio show.
Rich Voss is a bad motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen.
Give him a show in Philadelphia.
And still, one of my best comic moments ever is Rich Voss telling that fucking Robin Givens joke on stage. You can say it now. We did this on the terrestrial show, but we were in Dangerfields. This was at least 10 years ago. More than that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years ago. And Voss tells this joke downstairs, and I talked to him into saying it on stage.
After Mike Tyson, after him and Robin Givens broke up, I found out that Robin Givens went out with Eddie Murphy, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson. Is it me or is she a nigger lover? That was the joke.
So he says this on stage. He was killing up to this point. And nothing. They fucking stare at him, and all you hear is me by the bar.
But you'll get better jokes at Governor's, or go to Caroline's. If you're in New York or Jersey, go see Rogan. I'm telling you, it's a great show. Ari's funny. This is a good show at Caroline's.
Or Ari,
Ari. I'm sorry. I said
JoeRogan.net.
So just to get the plug straight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Caroline's.
For Joe Rogan.
Rich Friday, Saturday, Governor's, or Amazon Voss DVD. I need to sell 1,000 today. I'm not fucking around.
You got a website?
No, I sell them off. I do, but fuck the web. Who gives a shit about that?
I'm down with the website. JoeRogan.com, MySpace.com/TalkingMonkey.
And tomorrow on O&A, Joe Rogan's coming back.
Yeah.
And we're going to have the eggnog drinking contest.
Oh, fucking don't miss that.
Come check it out. I don't think I could fill for the next 20 seconds.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks for tolerating us.
This was
it was
fun.
a good time, and thanks for all the questions, everybody. And if anybody got stuck on hold, sorry about that.
For questions for Voss.
And jihad to you all.
Closing thoughts, Voss?
No, thanks.
And that's it for the Opie and Anthony show. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Hey, Cunningham, I'm gay. I just bonked mouth. He said sit on it, so I did.